Okay, this is a another video. Um, they do this disturbing things to me where they've been making me feel uncomfortable. But they do these things where every movement I make can be turned into something disgusting. But the worst part is like the way they just make me feel uncomfortable about myself is just disgusting. They have this ability to create weird arousals genitals from the private areas, and it takes very little to sometimes like activate that. Like for example, I was sitting uh on my couch, my 2 feet spread out, both my feet on the table, the coffee table, and I will go through Instagram, for example, right? I go on this app, and I follow this singer called Sharon Naomi, or Naomi Sharon. She's this beautiful Dutch singer, and I follow her. And I did this thing where, well, I did this thing. Then I made the mistake. I didn't make the mistake, but I was nervous. But I looked at her story, and what happened is what I'm doing is gonna be tough because they're gonna stimulate me. But I do this because I just want to make sure that my story is told. They want you to be scared, right? I know bad things are still gonna happen to me, but me, I just wanna. I feel like I know that things are gonna be properly reimbursed for what they've done to me and what they're participating in themselves into. Matter of fact, the fact that I'm been validated to that level is an example. Now I know things are gonna get worse, just like others have said. And these people are just trash. They truly are trash. I've been calling them trash for a long time, and I understand. But me calling them for what they really are has made things worse for me. But I could not let them live their fantasy. I couldn't. I couldn't. They had to be called what they are. I could not let them live in their little fantasy land where they have this gimmick persona they've created, where they're these fierce individuals when in reality they're just the cowards and low life trash that work for pedophiles. While try to make you accept these things. They tell me, "Oh, you're never gonna work again." Do you understand that I might not ever breathe again? I might never walk again. I might never be able to speak again. And I know my employer is is a perp, and I know who actually put me in this program and why I will never work. I haven't worked since not working for them. I've just been tormented. I've worked, I've gotten things done, but it was all in the purpose to make sure that I'll never work again. And so I know who's my last employer for real, and I understand that these people are what they are. Now, the disgusting things they do to me, they want me to subscribe to it. They know I'll never subscribe to this. Throughout the day, they're gonna continuously hear from me. Hear that I know what they're part of. They're pedophiles, right? In the sense that they force you to have this pedophilia type of torture. They keep saying how they dare to put child porn. I want to say that as much as I can, because this just shows what kind of people they are. These are the same people who have the ability to manipulate you in every ways, right? And so they have your libido, they have your brain, that they can manipulate you in these disgusting, disturbing ways, in these pedophilia ways. And on top of that, they have had some exposure coming from the BuzzFeed article saying, calling out the fact that there's been a lot of pedophilia in those agencies, and which makes sense. And I don't, these people doing this to me are in a culture of pedophilia, where pedophilia is just utilized in many fashion to torment, to manipulate, to frame, to do all these nasty things. But also in the world where these people are ran by pedophiles. Now, this is what I was trying to say. and I'm gonna, like I said, this the risk I'm gonna take. It's not a risk. It's basically the disturbing. They stimulate me in advance, and I'm looking away, trying to, okay, because as I was going through Sharon, Naomi Sharon, test Instagram, which is a Dutch singer, I tried to look at her story, and guess what? Boom! You see that? Her and the little boy. That little boy is the boyfriend's son, the son of the boyfriend. They immediately start doing things to me. I'm like, okay, no. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna subscribe to that, of course, as always. But I'm gonna take a screenshot of this picture because I'm gonna talk about it. This is what they're doing to me. They make me feel uncomfortable. This little boy, they're gonna do these disturbing things because he's a kid. I have my legs spread out. I have my one foot on spread out on both foot on my coffee table, and I got disgusted, and I took a screenshot, but I was like, ah, it's disgusting, and they made me slightly like close my leg, just like because I was like, I was like, oh my god, that's disgusting, and as I react, I close my leg a little bit. That little movement created some pressure in my private area, which stimulate me, which stimulate, which they stimulated me. It doesn't take that much to stimulate me, right? This is not gonna stimulate me, but they make me feel sensations. They sensitize parts of my body. They can sensitize you even on your sense of touch. They can, like, you can feel like extremely sensitive, and that's what they do. They made me feel sensitive in this private area because of this child. So when I did, slightly, like, just barely, like, just even close my leg just a little bit, just that little movement, because my private area is so sensitive. It felt like there was pressure. The things they do all the time is like that. Even sometimes they do that while I'm walking. I'm trying to, and they put a child in my head, or some child they tried to put, and it just happened 2 seconds ago. And I was trying to walk, and as because when you walk, you are sometimes your legs cross each other a little bit, just boom, and boom. That was enough because they sensitized my private area, my testicle, and they do these things, and they're like, oh, you see, that's what you wanted. You did this little thing because that's you wanted that little. See, that's what you wanted, and it's not even like, it's not like literally closing your legs. It's just like a little, just barely closing your leg. Unfortunately, my camera, because when I look at my camera, my surveillance camera, and I see that happening on camera, how stupid it is that they try to even create something like that and try to make you believe that, you see, that's proof you want this. You did this little movement like that. That means that you wanted that. When I see that on surveillance, on the surveillance camera, it just shows how idiotic this thing is. That because I'm in my head where they manipulate me, things sound and look very idiotic. The little leg movement is that's a lot. That little leg movement is just like they could start stimulating you based on that little pressure, just a little minuscule little, because you're so sensitized down there by them that even that little movement there is just enough to create some pressure and stimulations because they have sensitized your genitals, your testicles, and then they're like, oh, okay, oh, they're gonna rape you, they're gonna rape you. It's like, listen, whatever that happened, whenever that happened, one thing is for sure, I'll never subscribe to these things. They are but nasty pedos, low life trash that make you feel uncomfortable, that will force you to have some sensations and stimulations to the point where this disgusts you, to the point like where you don't even want to even slightly even pull a little bit, like you don't even want to close your legs a little bit, just even a slight movement like that can create a disturbing stimulation that they have created because they sensitize your genitals to force you to feel something there. They are nasty. And say, oh, you're a pedo. They are nasty. I will never let them live their fantasy. They're like, oh, they're gonna believe you. It's like, okay, I've been this. What number of videos this? You understand? They do it's gonna happen again. Tomorrow I'll have something else about what they've done to me. It's gonna be non-stop. They're gonna do whatever is possible to disturb me. This is I think now I'm close to 80 video, all talking about the same this disturbingness. Started from 2020. And they're like, oh, they're gonna believe you. No, they know. Everybody knows. This is a game. This is it's a gimmick to see how much I'm gonna break. What non-stop. And then you hear one of them earlier say, just kill yourself. Because they knew there was gonna be a new manipulation, a new disturbingness. Just kill yourself. Because that little all he took is just doing this desensitize me. First of all, the kid come. I'm just the kid is on my phone. You see how disgusting they are. The kid comes up on my phone when I press the story. I'm like, oh my gosh, disgusting. But I'm gonna take a picture because I'm gonna show what they do to me. The reason why I take a screenshot of that is because they want me to be nervous about it. Like, no, nowadays it's going to be a testimonial. I'm going to testify about, and I'm going to have the testimony about what they do to me. And then you're going to hear this trash in the hallway try to make me subscribe to these nasty manipulations. This nonsensical manipulation. That's how little it takes for them to mess with me. They can sensitize even my sense of touch. Sometimes they do this thing where they make me feel extra sensitive on my touch. It's just something. So it's nonstop. And you gotta be strong because they're not gonna stop disturbing you till the end. Till the end. And they know who's the pedos. They know their job is to make me believe I'm their pedo, but they are working for pedos and they sold to pedos. And they're gonna get theirs. But for now, they're God. Let them get the benefit of selling the soul to pedos. But it's not gonna last. So to all my target individuals, stay strong. Because justice will be done.